Lily was a curious girl with a wild imagination, always looking for adventure. One sunny afternoon, she wandered through her neighborhood, her eyes drawn to a towering, old house at the end of a quiet street. The house had been abandoned for years, its paint peeling and windows darkened with grime. Overgrown vines crept up the walls as if trying to reclaim the building. Intrigued, Lily felt an odd pull to explore inside. She took a deep breath and pushed open the creaky wooden door, which protested loudly as it swung open. The air was musty, filled with the scent of dust and decay. Sunlight streamed through cracks in the long-neglected walls, casting shadows that danced around her. As she stepped in, her heart raced with excitement and a hint of fear. The living room was filled with forgotten furniture, covered in white sheets. Toy dolls sat motionless in the corner, their glass eyes staring blankly into space. It felt like stepping into another world, one frozen in time and full of secrets waiting to be uncovered. Lily's adventurous spirit urged her to go deeper, unaware of the darkness that awaited her in the shadows. As Lily stepped farther into the house, the atmosphere shifted. The air grew colder, and a shiver ran down her spine. Cobwebs hung from the corners of the ceiling like ghostly curtains, glistening in the thin rays of light. Dust particles floated in the air, catching the light and creating a shimmering haze that felt almost magical yet foreboding. Each creaking floorboard beneath her feet sent echoes through the empty rooms, as if the house itself was alive, groaning with memories of the past. Shadows loomed larger as she moved deeper, twisting and turning in unexpected ways. Despite her adventurous spirit, an unsettling feeling tugged at her gut. It was as if unseen eyes were watching, following her every move. Lily paused in front of a cracked mirror that hung crookedly on the wall. Its surface was clouded with age, and she could barely make out her reflection. For a moment, she thought she saw something shift behind her, a flicker of movement in her peripheral vision, but when she turned around, there was nothing there but darkness. Determined to continue exploring, she took a deep breath and pressed on, unaware that each step brought her closer to uncovering something truly terrifying hidden within the house's walls. As Lily continued to wander through the dimly lit rooms, her eyes caught sight of an object partially hidden in the shadows. Curiosity surged within her, pushing aside her unease. She moved closer and discovered an antique mirror draped with a faded cloth, its edges frayed and dusty. The fabric seemed to whisper secrets, beckoning her to uncover what lay beneath. With hesitant hands, she reached out and pulled the cloth away. The moment it fell, a chill swept through the room, and the air thickened with a sense of anticipation. The mirror's surface was cloudy, marred by age, but it held an allure that Lily couldn't resist. She felt an inexplicable draw to the reflective glass, as if it were alive and waiting for her gaze. As she stood before it, Lily's heartbeat quickened. The cracks in the mirror formed strange patterns that seemed to twist and writhe in the light. Despite her fear, she leaned closer, entranced by the way her reflection flickered at the edges. For a fleeting second, she believed she saw something else, something dark and shadowy lurking just beyond her own image. Shaking off the feeling, she took a step back but couldn't help glancing at the mirror once more, sensing that it held answers to questions she hadn't even thought to ask. As the dust settled around her, Lily stood transfixed by the mirror's surface. Her reflection stared back at her, but something felt off. At first, she thought it was just her imagination playing tricks in the dim light, yet her reflection began to move independently of her. While she remained still, the image in the glass tilted its head slightly, mirroring her movements a heartbeat later. Panic fluttered in Lily's chest as she raised a hand to touch the mirror's surface. To her horror, the reflection lifted its hand at the same time, but it didn't just mimic, it seemed to smile, a wide grin that stretched too far, revealing teeth that looked sharper than they should. Lily's heart raced as dread washed over her. She stepped back, but the reflection continued to act out of sync with her own actions. It twisted and turned, eyes gleaming with an unsettling light that sent goosebumps prickling along her arms. Unable to look away, she felt trapped in a battle of wills, haunted by the realization that she was not alone within this glass prison. Desperate to break free from this eerie connection, Lily turned away from the mirror, but its presence lingered in her mind, taunting and challenging her courage. Lily's heart raced as she watched her reflection smile, the grin widening until it looked almost sinister. The feeling of dread deepened when she noticed that it was now mimicking her actions in reverse. Confused and terrified, she moved her left hand, only to see the reflection raise its right hand in perfect coordination, but in a way that felt completely wrong. Every small movement she made was met with an unsettling delay and an eerie smile that never faltered. It was as if the reflection were taunting her, a mirror image that reveled in its own twisted game. Lily felt a bead of sweat trickle down her forehead as the joy of discovery morphed into pure horror. The reflection tilted its head with an unsettling curiosity, as if it were pondering something dark and sinister. Desperate to challenge the strange bond forming between them, she frowned, but the reflection only grinned wider, echoing her expression. It was both a reflection and not. There was something alive behind those eyes, a malevolence that sent chills spiraling down her spine. Lily could hardly breathe, petrified by the realization that this mirror might be more than just glass. It could be a portal into something terrifying waiting just beyond the surface. As Lily stood frozen before the mirror, a soft, whispering voice broke the heavy silence. "Lily," it called, each syllable dripping with a haunting familiarity. She felt goosebumps crawl over her skin as the reflection's lips moved, forming words that echoed in her mind. "You think you know yourself, but do you truly?" The voice continued, weaving dark secrets and hidden fears into her thoughts. "What about the times you felt alone at school? The whispers behind your back? The moments you wished you could be someone else?" Each revelation felt like a dagger, piercing through her heart. Lily clenched her fists, trying to block out the words, but they wrapped around her, tightening like a vice. "I can show you," the reflection purred, its eyes glinting with malice. "Embrace your darkness, it's who you really are." Panic surged within her as she shook her head vehemently. She wanted to scream, to run away from this living nightmare that knew her deepest insecurities. But something kept her rooted in place. The mirror had become a gateway to her soul's shadows, revealing truths she was desperate to hide. With every whispered secret, Lily felt herself slipping further into a realm of fear and doubt she never wanted to confront. As Lily continued to grapple with her chilling reflection, a faint sound reached her ears, whispers that seemed to rise from the very walls of the house. Intrigued and terrified, she paused and listened. The stories of the old home began to unfold in her mind, tales of a family that once inhabited this shadowy place, a family that had mysteriously vanished without a trace. The legend said they were a normal family, living quietly until one fateful night when everything changed. Neighbors spoke of strange noises echoing through the night, sounds of conflict and cries for help. Then, just as quickly as they had come, the family disappeared, leaving behind an empty shell of a home and unanswered questions. Rumors swirled that the parents had gone mad, claiming they saw things that were not there, figures in the mirrors, shadows stalking them through the hallways. Those bold enough to venture close said the house was cursed, forever trapped in time with its ghosts. Standing before the mirror, Lily couldn't help but wonder if the reflection she faced was linked to this family's tragic end. Were their secrets somehow intertwined with her own fears? As dread seeped into her bones, she realized that understanding their story might be the key to escaping her own nightmare. As the sun dipped below the horizon, darkness crept into the house, wrapping it in an unsettling silence. The air felt thick and heavy, and Lily's heart pounded loudly in her chest. Just when she thought things couldn't get any worse, strange occurrences began to escalate around her. From the corner of her eye, she caught movement, a dusty old chair shifting slightly as if nudged by an invisible force. She froze, wide-eyed, unable to comprehend what she had just witnessed. The floor creaked ominously beneath her feet, and a gust of wind swept through the room, sending a chill down her spine and causing cobwebs to dance in the corners. Suddenly, a nearby lamp flickered on and off erratically, casting eerie shadows that leapt across the walls. Lily gasped as a book from a nearby shelf fell with a loud thud, pages fluttering open as though something inside were trying to escape. Each strange event heightened her anxiety, weaving a tapestry of dread around her. Feeling trapped and overwhelmed, Lily's mind raced with questions. Was this the presence of the family who once lived here? Were they trying to communicate? As objects continued to move on their own, Lily realized she needed to uncover the truth before it was too late. With each passing moment, Lily felt her connection to the mirror grow stronger, yet more terrifying. The whispers grew louder, and her reflection smile deepened into something sinister, a representation of her own worst fears materializing before her eyes. Realization struck like lightning. This mirror harbored a dark secret, one that extended beyond mere glass. As she struggled with the overwhelming dread, Lily understood that the house and her reflection were intertwined. The family that had vanished, the haunting whispers, and the malevolent presence in the mirror were all part of the same terrifying mystery. If she didn't act quickly, she feared that her reflection might take control, making her part of the mirror forever. Frantically searching for an escape, Lily's gaze darted around the room. She recalled the stories of those who had come before her, the ones who had ventured too close to the truth and never returned. It was clear that this place demanded a toll from its visitors. She stepped back from the mirror, feeling the weight of its gaze upon her. I have to break this connection, she thought desperately. If she could confront the truth about herself and the secrets within this house, there might still be a chance to escape before becoming trapped alongside the ghosts of its past. As Lily faced her reflection, an overwhelming sense of dread engulfed her, but she resolved to fight back. The air around the mirror crackled with tension, and as she stepped closer, the reflection's smile morphed into a chilling grin that seemed to mock her resolve. You are mine, it hissed, its voice echoing ominously in the dim light. Drawing on every ounce of courage, Lily shouted back, No. I will not let you control me. She could feel an invisible force pulling her toward the mirror, trying to ensnare her within its depths. With determination surging through her veins, she reached out and pressed against the cold glass. In that moment of contact, pain jolted through her as memories flooded her mind, moments of fear and self-doubt that had long haunted her. She fought against it, screaming for those memories to release their hold. I am stronger than my fears, she cried defiantly. The reflection writhed in frustration, attempting to grasp at her spirit. But with each declaration of strength, Lily felt herself breaking free from its grip. The mirror began to tremble as light pulsed around them. It was now or never. With a final surge of willpower, she focused on shattering the connection between them and stepped back, determined to reclaim her identity before it was too late. In a moment of clarity, Lily spotted a heavy candlestick resting on a nearby table. She rushed towards it, gripping the cool metal tightly as she faced the mirror once more. The reflection still glared menacingly, its sinister smile replaced with rage and desperation as if sensing her intent. With her heart pounding, she lifted the candlestick high above her head, summoning all of her strength and courage. You will not control me, she screamed, channeling every ounce of defiance into that one action. With a powerful swing, she brought the candlestick crashing down onto the mirror's surface. The shattering sound echoed through the room like thunder. Glass exploded outward, fragments scattering across the floor while a blood-curdling scream echoed through the air, her reflection scream, as it contorted in agony. The menacing figure writhed, struggling to maintain its form as cracks spiderwebbed across what remained of the mirror. Then, with one final flash, the screaming ceased, and the apparition vanished into thin air. Silence enveloped Lily, leaving only the sound of her ragged breaths. Trembling yet relieved, she took a step back from the remnants of the shattered mirror, knowing that she had finally broken free from its dark grasp and reclaimed her true self. As Lily stepped away from the shattered remnants of the mirror, the weight of her experience settled heavily on her shoulders. The house, once a place of eerie curiosity, now felt like a labyrinth of memories etched into its walls, memories of fear, darkness, and ultimately, bravery. Each step she took toward the exit echoed with the lesson she had learned, that facing one's fears could lead to liberation. The chilling whispers that had haunted her were replaced by a profound silence, yet they lingered in her mind as reminders of what she had confronted. She paused at the threshold, glancing back at the desolate interior filled with shadows and secrets. Though the house would always be a part of her story, it no longer held power over her. Emerging into the cool night air, Lily felt changed. She was stronger now for having battled her own reflection and faced the darkness within herself. The stars twinkled above, and with each breath, she felt lighter. Though haunted by what she had experienced, she embraced this newfound strength as a part of who she was becoming. With her heart full of resolve, she turned away from the house for good, ready to face whatever lay ahead.